People, welcome to Newspaper Breakdown, 20th of the 12th. Hope we are all news to get through. A few newses. As always, I'm not going through all of the news. You should still look at the news. Always know who's fucking you. But we'll start with the Department of Education. They've released their annual report, and they have raised the risk levels of school buildings collapsing to very likely, after an increase in serious structural issues being reported, especially in blocks built in the years between 1945 to 1970. Old buildings we've done fuck all about, we haven't maintained well enough. They're going to it's very likely they're collapsing in the near future. The report states that at the time of publication there is no imminent risk to life, which isn't that just delightful for your children? What a wonderful sentence. No imminent risk to life, it's coming, just not yet. But situation was said to be worrying. Officials have escalated risk levels from critical likely to critical very likely. And if they're saying it's very likely, they mean it. They mean it. They're not actually saying what schools are in trouble at the moment, which is concerning. The issues are now being overseen by a board of permanent secretaries from across government departments. So lots of people are going to be looking at this now and doing fuck all. We've got other risks in education at the moment, include a loss of public confidence in the fairness of public exams, concerns that children will not recover from the impact of COVID, leading to a widening attainment gap between pupils, because over COVID, one of the major issues that was faced, wasn't spoken about tons, was even when you're schooling from home, depending on your wealth is what you've got access to. Not everyone could able to do their work on a laptop, as an example, and so those with more money would be able to get tutors, would be able to not fall as far behind as children without a family with tons of disposable income, meaning that as you age, there is a chance that that wealth gap, as we've seen throughout humanity, will widen. Higher needs costs, of course. Everything's getting more expensive. Teachers potentially will go on strike soon, and lots and lots of schools are running low on money. And of course, cybersecurity is the final major issue, but we do have ballerinas that can deal with that one. We've got nurses are on strike again today. Sunak has said that the current round of strikes could go on for months because the government are willing to do their fucking job. Of course, he's claimed that the government has acted fairly and reasonably, which is a lie. The strike is over pay, with the government unwilling to open any talks with nurses. On lighter news, better news, the government has commenced legal action against PPE Medipro as it looks to recover more than £100 million from the two large contracts awarded to PPE Medipro for PPE. This was the company that the Tory peer Michelle Mone recommended and then allegedly got £29 million into a bank account for recommending. Of course, she had nothing to do with the company, absolutely nothing to do, nothing. The government is also looking to recover costs for storing and disposing of the PPE they got from PPE MediPro because it was unusable. The company was set up. It was either a month before Michelle Mone started recommending it, or a month after she started recommending it. Either way, this wasn't a company with vast histories of creating PPE. This was someone who saw an opportunity to get money from the government for doing fuck all, and they managed it. What else have we got? We've got more than 500,000 people have left the workforce since the pandemic, putting the economy at a risk. That's claimed in a recent Lords report. This is the House of Lords Economics Affairs Committee has said that the sharp rise in economic inactivity, which is working age adults who are neither employed nor looking for work, was putting a serious challenge on the economy. Early retirement among the 50s, 64-year-olds was the biggest contributor, which is, it's good to hear that, because normally when you hear something about that, you're like going, I'll tell you who it is. Fucking poor people, innit? Fucking poor. No one wants to work anymore. When I was a boy. No, it's not. This, the majority of this is 50 to 64-year-olds retiring. The economic activity has risen to 565,000 since the pandemic. Also, rising sickness rates, changes in migration since Brexit, and an ageing population were also key drivers. This could potentially go on to affect the tax revenue and rising inflation. Sorry, let me know. Well, I'm going to do that on here. You don't want that type of thing to be fucking recorded, do you? What we've got final few stories. Got Jeremy Clarkson's sexist, racist opinion piece in The Sun about Meghan Markle has become the most complained about article ever. Over 17,500 complaints. I do not care about the royal family. I say get rid of them all. Remove all of their fucking titles. 2022, I ain't bowing to no one. The idea that we're a racist country should not shock anyone. We are a racist country, and it is disgusting about how Meghan Markle was treated. No but there. Absolutely no but. I really dislike that when they go along and say, but, no, there's no but there at all. Completely different. Completely different. I don't care about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Don't give a toss. We're going on about using this story as, oh well, this shows the racism. There was a young black girl who was strip searched. That story was like a day or two in the papers. That shows racism. That shows disgust, fucking hatred, something fundamentally wrong in our society. That's the story I'd still be fucking talking about. Rich, attention-seeking shit stains. Every fucking one of them. Just because you're racism, wrong. Absolutely. There are more important fucking racism stories out there, but we still stick to celebrity. Always fucking celebrity. Speaking of celebrities, rapist Harvey Weinstein has been found guilty of rape in the US. Good. Very important to remember how the film industry, especially in Hollywood, protected him for all the years. January 6th committee, this is the final story. No. This is the penultimate story. The January 6th committee has referred Donald Trump to the Justice Department to face criminal charges, accusing him of fomenting an insurrection and conspiracy against the government over his attempts to subvert the outcome of the 2020 elections and the January 6th US Capitol insurrection. This is the first time in history that Congress has recommended charges against a former president. This came after 18 months of investigations. This is going to go one of two ways. Either he's going to finally be done for everything bad he's done, which is going to create more violence, because a lot of his supporters are delusional. This is what happens with conspiracy. All conspiracy theories, they're off in the head. The truth is such a scary concept for them. Or absolutely fuck what's going to happen, and he's going to win the next election. It's going to happen. Finally, scientists in Cardiff tested biscuits to find out the best biscuit for dunking, because who needs to? I mean, you're going, oh, I'm a scientist. Wow, that's impressive. You must be really smart. What are you working on at the moment? We're seeing which biscuit dunks the best. Ah, okay. They tested Hobnob style, digestives, shorty and rich tea in a biscuit comparative study. This is, it's a fun story, innit? It's a bit of a Christmas cheer. Hobnob came out on top, rich tea came out last, because rich tea is always a pile of shit. But would you go? Are they the only ones worth dunking? How about shortbread? Bourbon, something like that. What are you gonna do? Wasn't my scientific fucking work, was it? Scientist, Jesus. See how many fruit pastels you can choke a kestrel. Anyway, right, well, I hope this has been useful for people and they've learnt something. I shall catch you tomorrow.